أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبي بعد سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to the House of Dua. Today, I'm coming to you with something out of the ordinary. This is not our regular presentation. I just want to share a moment with you, a frank moment. I just want to share with you my recent personal experience. If you like, call it a testimony. But I believe I need to share it because you have a lesson to learn from it. All of us have a lesson to learn from it. And that lesson will be beneficial to us in the short run and in the long run. Sincerely speaking, that's why I'm sharing this experience, for all of us to benefit from it. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, we are in a world in which we need good livelihood. And in some cases, we want to achieve that through investments. And whenever we invest, we expect some good returns. And if that happens, we are happy. And if it doesn't happen that way, we're not so happy. But I want to share with you something amazing. It might rent your heart, or it might excite you. But listen to what I want to tell you. This is just happening now, and if you like, call it a breaking news. Early this week, a friend of mine, and of course a homeboy for that matter, drew my attention to a potential investment and told me, "Yeah, Sheikh, if you have money, put in this business because it's going to give you a very quick return." I'm not a smart businessman. As a result, whenever such investment come to me, I get scared and I hesitate. But because of the confidence I have in this close friend, I listened attentively. I looked at the options and I decided it's something I need to go for. Therefore, I went into my life savings to invest in this potential business, a buying and selling investment that was expected to yield a quick profit and good results. I expected good returns, excellent returns by the calculations I have received. I did the investment Monday this week and expected a result by 2 days ago, Thursday this week. But guess what? When the result came, I lost my investment. I suffered a huge loss, a loss almost equivalent to my entire life savings. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was shocked and I was devastated. But I had to sum up courage. I call Allah to witness. Ya Allah, this is my faith. Everything I have belongs to you. I recited one of the most powerful dua in the Quran and accompanied it with one of the most powerful dua in the Sunnah. And that is, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati wa kulufni khairan minha. To Allah I belong, and unto Him is my return. O Allah, save me from my adversity and replace for me that which is better than what I lost. So I decided to go about my duty. But then the pain was there. It was intense in me. How do I recover from this? But I trusted in Allah. I know that Allah will not allow me to suffer this loss in vain, knowing fully well that I went into it sincerely, believing that what I was doing was right. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, when this loss occurred, I also took the step to call on my friend who introduced this business to me, my hometown boy. But alas, he will not answer my phone anymore. I was almost in tears. But guess what? Just yesterday, within 24 hours, after I returned from the Jumu'ah service, I had a visitor in my house who came for professional consultation on an issue between him and his wife. I gave him my best, but I charged him a fee as professionally required. He willingly paid the fee. I gave him what I consider to be the best option out of the situation, and he went home. He got home, he found exactly what I told him as the outcome of the situation. He was so pleased that he called me. He called me and told me, "Ya Sheikh, thank you very much for your advice. Everything had worked out as you advised. I'm so satisfied with what you have done that I need to give you a gift." He did me what is called cash app transfer. When I added the cash app transfer to the professional fee he had paid me, it came to exactly the total amount I lost just 24 hours ago. I was terribly amazed. But I give praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, within a short period of 24 hours, I got back what I lost just 24 hours ago. Why? Because I placed my matter in the hands of Allah. And that's not the end of the testimony, my dear brothers, my dear sisters. Just this morning, today is Saturday, just this morning, a friend of mine called me. This is a friend as well as a client. About November 2019, he called me, he had a problem. He's a friend also in the diaspora. He needed to build a house in his hometown. He had been offered a plot of land at a very high price, but the location was very attractive. So he agreed to pay. But when he paid for the land, it turned out that it was a hoax. He had lost his money. Almost his entire savings had been lost in that process. So he called on me. "Ya Sheikh, this is the problem I have. Please, I need your help. Join me to supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this person who has swindled me in this manner, in a manner that looked like 419 crime. And now the person has escaped and we have nowhere to locate him. Join me to call out to Allah for this guy to be arrested." I told him I will do so only on the condition that he will not consult anything else or anyone else after the supplication. The reason why I did that is that we as human beings, sometimes we are so much in a hurry that when we ask Allah for something, we don't get patient. Therefore, we start looking for alternative ways. He promised me that he would not consult any other person and he would not take any other measure. He needed dua from me. So I did it. It's now 2023. Since then, the person had not been caught. On a few occasions, he had called upon me to say, "Ya Sheikh, we are still waiting." I said, "Be patient. Allah will not disgrace you. Allah will restore your loss to you." Why did I say so? Because at the time we made the supplication, I told him it was going to be a very simple supplication. And I asked him to recite after me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma ajirni min musibati wa khulufni khayran minha. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. To Allah I belong, and unto Allah is my return. Oh Allah, save me from my adversity and replace for me what is better than what I have lost. I asked him to give out a little sadaqah, and he did at that time. As I said, he had called me on a few occasions to say nothing has happened. I said, just be patient. So today, this morning, he called me to say, "Ya Sheikh, that person who swindled me of thousands of dollars about land had been arrested. And now, the person had even agreed to pay back the money. And he has even paid a fraction of it. Therefore, Ya Sheikh, thank you so much and thank Allah. I need you to help me thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. And I'm going to send you something right now. Check your cash app. Within a few minutes, I received a gift from him equivalent to exactly what I lost 72 hours behind. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, within 72 hours, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has replaced for me what I lost with something that is better than what I lost. He gave me 100% of what I lost plus another 100% as an extra. That reminds me of Allah's commandment in Surah Yunus. لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَى وَزِيَادَةٌ وَلَا يَرْهَقُ وُجُوهَهُمْ قَتْرٌ وَلَا ذِلَّةٌ أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. For those who do good, the return for them is good and something better. And their faces will not be covered with shame. They are the companions of Jannah, and they will be there forever. And as I've always stated in this program, that Jannah begins from this life. If you trust in Allah, you believe in Him, He will manifest the effect of Jannah upon you on this planet. There are a few lessons to be learned from this experience, my dear brothers, my dear sisters. Number one, if you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you keep up with the test He places upon you, that ability to put up with the test Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places upon you is known as taqdeer. If you trust in Allah and accept the condition He has placed in you and believe that He will replace it for you, and you supplicate to Him, definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace for you what you have lost and give you something better. That's number one. Number two, when you supplicate to Allah and you are patient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not get you disappointed. That's what happened in the case of my friend that we supplicated on his behalf 2019. That dua did not get into reality and accomplishment until 2023. I had told my friend at that time, on a few occasions when he called to ask about the situation, I told him, remember what the jinns told their companions from Surah Al-Hakaf. When they listened to the recitation of the Quran and they went to warn their people to follow the way, they told their people, وَمَنْ لَا يُجِبُ دَاعِيَ اللَّهِ فَلَيْسَ بِمُعْجِزٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَيْسَ لَهُ مِن دُونِهِ أَوْلِيَاءُ أُولَٰئِكَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُّبِينٍ. From Surah Al-Hakaf. Whoever does not respond to the call of Allah, you make dua calling on Allah, and by so doing asking Allah to make somebody do what you want him to do, that person cannot refuse to do what you expect him to do. Isn't it like that? The jinns told themselves, whoever does not respond to the call of Allah, that person cannot escape Allah's plan or punishment on this planet. And He will not have any other person to save him or her. Such people are on the path of loss. My dear brothers, my dear sister, that's how I be consoling my friend. I say, be patient. He can run, but he cannot hide, because the long arm of Allah is inescapable. And that's exactly what has just happened. The third lesson that we need to learn from this situation, my dear brothers and sisters, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not disappoint you. All you need to receive the mercy of Allah is to continuously do good. Is to continuously do good no matter what the challenges are, and to continuously obey Allah's commandment. And whenever something adverse touches you, you call out to Allah. Don't call out to anything else. Such things cannot help you. This is what has happened. I feel I should share these lessons with all of you, because it could be your turn. Do not doubt this book. This is a book without doubt. It's a guidance to those who are conscious of Allah. This is the only answer Allah has given to our how of life. How do I do this? How do I get there? How do I protect myself? How do I get successful? Which is the dua taught to us by Allah in Surah Al-Fatiha. Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. If you trust in Allah, Allah will guide you to the straight path. I hope this lesson will be of benefit to many of you. I encourage you to share this video with your friends and relations so that it will increase our iman. Listen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Fatih, chapter 48 of the Holy Quran. He is so kind that in our moments of adversities and in our moments of challenges, He brings Sakina from the heaven to calm down the believers, to guide them to the straight path. He declares, Huwallazi anzala sakinata fi qulubil mu'minin liyazdadu imanan ma'a imanihim walillahi junudu samawati wal ard wa kana Allahu aliman hakima. He is Allah who sends Sakina from the heaven upon the believers on the planet in their moments of travails and difficulties to calm them down, to give them hope, to enrich their iman, to make them realize that Allah will not neglect them in their moment of travails. For Allah is the owner of the forces in the heaven and the earth, and He is aware of everything. The Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam was going through some moments of travails and difficulties, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to him with a beautiful, beautiful consolation. In Surah Ad-Duha, He told the Prophet, Ma wadda'aka rabbuka wa ma qala. Allah will not neglect you. Allah will not humiliate you. Allah will not allow your enemies to laugh at you. As a matter of fact, then He brought another verse. Wala sawfa yu'tika rabbuka fatarda. Allah will provide for you. Allah will continually provide for you and grant you goodness until you are pleased. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, let us have confidence in Allah. Let's worship Him sincerely. And when a loss is suffered, because we cannot avoid suffering any form of loss, we must go back to Allah and reinforce our trust in Him if we need a rescue in the world we live today. I hope you benefit from this lesson. Let's call us one more time to continue to guide us to the straight path. Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, Ya Allah. Sirat al-Ladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Allahumma lakal hamdu kullu wa laka shukru kullu wa ilayka yurja'u al-amru kullu alaniyatu was-sir wa anta ala kulli shay'in qadir. Lakal hamdu fil layli wa lakal hamdu fil nahar. Lakal hamdu fid dunya wa lakal hamdu fil akhirah. Lakal hamdu fis sama wa lakal hamdu fil ard. Lakal hamdu fil mashriq wa lakal hamdu fil maghrib. Lakal hamdu fil awwalin wa lakal hamdu fil akhirin. Lakal hamdu ya Allah. Lakal hamdu ya Rahim. Lakal hamdu ya Hayyu ya Qayyum. Lakal hamdu ya man lahul asmaul husna. Subhanaka. Subhanaka ya Allah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.